Hey, I'm Chris, your primary advisor for all things R&D related. It's a pleasure to meet you. You'll find your workstation is all set up with everything you need to track the progress of your car.
Hello folks, and welcome to Paddock Pass, your pre-race edition for this, the inaugural round of the 2021 Formula One World Championship. And I've got to say, it feels great to be back. As is tradition, there is something of an air of a first day back at school on arrival here. But it's more than that. It's a breath of fresh air. It's an element of normality in what has at times felt to be something of an abnormal world. Now, we were supposed to have a raft of new regulations this season, but as we know, they've been held back. Which does give all of these teams the opportunity to have a second bite at the cherry, one final chance to show what they can do in this era of Formula One. But the responsibility for results, as always, falls on the drivers. But with the cars at their disposal this year being very similar to the cars they had at their disposal last year, succeed, and they, of course, will put it all on themselves as a display of their innate skills and abilities. But the knife cuts both ways, because if they fail to succeed, there's absolutely nowhere for them to hide. The other question, though, remains as to which of these teams has been able to do the incredible, the impossible perhaps, with these regulations and pull something out of the hat over the winter that gives them the march on their rivals. As always, we can't wait for this season to begin, but for now, from us, that's your lot.
This first race of the season is always quite difficult for us trackside, and for those back at the factory as well, as it's the first time the car has run since winter testing. The more consistent mileage you can get in these sessions, the happier we'll be. Let's get a few laps under our belt. Pitting this lap then, come into the pits at the end of this lap.
And with all the cars now over the line, let's see our top three again. The Golden Boy, Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. And that's it, practice is official. With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three. Hamilton, Verstappen and Valtteri Bottas. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round one of this year's Formula One World Championship. Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36 mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities. It could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some points during the Grand Prix. So here we are in 2021 at the start of another Formula One World Championship. It all begins here, Mercedes looking to retain their hold on the title, Red Bull seeking to secure their position as the main contender for that title, Ferrari no doubt hoping for a fresh start following their difficulties last year, and elsewhere on the grid, the prospect of some really exciting battles, including between the newly rebranded Aston Martin and Alpine teams. Lots to discuss then with Anthony Davidson, who's joined me in the commentary box for today's event.
It's good to be back, Crofty. Let's hope for some good racing today. We can't know at this point how competitive these teams are relative to each other, but hopefully nobody is able to run and hide. We want to see these drivers pushing to the limit all the way to the checkered flag.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Perez, Lando Norris, and Leclerc. The Golden Boy, Ricciardo, Gasly and Sebastian Vettel. Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Lance Stroll and Ocon. Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, George Russell and Mick Schumacher. Latifi and Nikita Mazepin. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Good job, nice overtake. DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. We're leading our teammate by 5.9 seconds. This is your final lap of the race.
Thank you. I need a moment.
You worked hard for that one. Congratulations.
That's it for another spectacular Grand Prix here in Bahrain and a real champion's drive to take the win. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, Crofty, this was won through an abundance of speed and an abundance of skillful overtakes. Inside, outside, cutting underneath, we saw it all today. And it's really nice to see a Grand Prix won in that manner. A race, surely, that will satisfy the purists today, I think.
Ferrari are at it again, an excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there. The Golden Boy takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to the Golden Boy. They did a great job at getting the most out of their tyres without losing pace, something that's a very handy skill to have in modern day Formula One.
It's time to check out the Constructors' standings. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.